DESHAR and I'm currently a student at Tixpire College studying Bachelor's of Science in Information and Technology. As a part of our coursework on the subject Personality Development, my team and I are conducting an interview focused on understanding the journey, struggles, and inspiration of a notable individual, particularly those who have made a mark as an entrepreneur or to possess a strong interpersonal influence. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Rupesh Vaidya, a respected orthopedic surgeon and an entrepreneur. Through this conversation, we hope to gain a valuable insights into his experience, challenges, and motivation that has shaped his inspiring journey. Let's begin. Hello, Dr. Rupesh, how are you today?
Thank you very well, Zarina. How are you?
I'm fine as well. So thank you for making time for me today.
That is my pleasure.
Can you please introduce yourself?
First of all, thank you for acknowledging me as an entrepreneur. I'm basically an orthopedic surgeon for the past 25 years. But in entrepreneurship, actually I opened up a hospital 13 years back, and 3 years ago I established this Dani Healing Clinic.
Yes. So let's start with your childhood journeys first.
Yeah, sure.
As a child, did you have anyone who you looked up to, or someone who had the biggest influence on you?
Okay, Jarina, so at different stages, I think I have different inspirations. Like from my childhood to my adolescence, I think the first one who impressed me was Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Because at that time, we started to have the VCR videos, and my father used to take me to those places where they show Bruce Lee movies. So I think he was my first inspiration. And then comes the Michael Jackson.
Yes.
At that time, yeah, I was like teenage in my schools. He was an inspiration for me. And later on in my college life, I think Rupesh. I was amazed how he could unite the whole Nepal. Those were my inspiration in my childhood.
So what value did your family instill in you?
Okay, the values they instill into me, I think is basically our cultural values. The values of families itself, like family uniting, family coming to certain cultural events, and value of dedication to work. I think those three values they instilled in me very well.
Yes. So I see you had a really great mindset while you were young. So let me ask you about your biggest dream as a child.
Okay, my biggest dream always had been to become a doctor.
Yes. So have you always thought about starting a business or being an entrepreneur while you were young?
Okay, so when I recall back, like when I was a kid, when I was in grade 5 or 6, my dad used to buy lots of comic books to me. So we used to see lots of, maybe you are aware of those comic books or not.
Yes.
So nowadays they're more online, but we used to have paperback comic books. So I used to have dozens of comic books. So what I did next was we put a stall at Kilagal, where I used to live as a child. And that stall, we put all those comic books and rented it for like Eksuka or Ekmore. So the kids would come and see the comic books and pay to me.
It's like a small shop.
Yeah, it's like a small shop, it's a street shop. And on top of that, what I used to do, I remember now, is like in Dashines, the Hindus, the biggest festival, I used to go to Birganj to get tikka from my grandmother. So while at Birganj, I used to buy the firecrackers, the pataka. So when coming back in Kathmandu, I used to sell the firecrackers in my comic book stalls without letting the police know. So I think those are my young kids' entrepreneurial journey.
You had the mind of entrepreneur at the young age.
Yeah, when I recall back, I think so. Yeah.
So listening to that, I think you were a really good student as a child.
Yeah, I think so. But till class 8, I was a middle grade student because I was always getting second division.
Yeah.
But since my dream was to become a doctor, and at that time there was no way out to become a doctor without getting good grades.
Yeah.
So I had to study hard. So after 8, I really sat down and studied hard. So
After
yeah,
eight.
after eighth grade, I think I was a studious guy. Before
Exactly.
that, I was just playful guy.
Okay, so I think you had the first job you ever had was the selling in the stalls. So after that, what was your first job, like
Okay.
official
Uh-huh.
one?
So that stall, I would not say it was a job. It was just like some kind of fun, but some kind of entrepreneurial activity.
Yes.
But my job was like when I went to medical school, and in 1994 or 95, I went to UK, England,
Yeah.
in student camps in summertime. So I think that was my first job. I got paid there, I worked there, and I paid there, and I enjoyed also. I think that was my first job.
Did you face any hardship when you were a student or in your young age?
Okay, so I'm from a middle class family. My mother and father are teachers, so maybe money was not always enough. Money was not
Yeah.
always enough. So, but however, otherwise, social wise, other thing, I don't feel any hardship. I don't realize that I got any. Maybe during studies, studies were hard.
They're still hard.
Yeah,
It's
they're
hard
still
for
hard.
me as well.
Yeah, never easy.
Yeah. So if you have to give an advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Okay, like if I have to give advice to my younger self,
Or you could think you are giving advice to me.
no, for not for you, but for my own youngest, I would say I should have been less shy.
Yeah.
I should have been less shy, and I should have embraced fear in a positive way, I think.
Yeah. Is there a moment in your early life that still inspires you?
The moment in my early, okay, I think the inspiration you're talking about, no, the
Yes.
moment. So it might be a little bit out of text. However, I would like to remember a moment when I was maybe 10 or 11 years old, and I was pretty much like playful. I had lots of friends, and I had just learned about meditation, weird ways of meditating. So I took 2 bricks and some wood and started a small fire, the topmost floor, what do you call it, the kausi of the house. Yeah. And then I sat there and I tried to do meditation my own way. But suddenly when I opened my eyes, I realized that a long time has passed, maybe 2-3 hours, the sun was setting. And at that time, I felt some kind of a very interesting feeling. So that was inspiring, and whenever I'm troubled nowadays, and I don't do meditation a lot, but when I'm in trouble, I think I go back to the same schedule,
Yeah.
but not without the bricks and the fire. I just sit down and meditate. I think that's inspiration for me.
It's really inspiring to
Maybe
learn
out of
from
the
you as
text,
well.
out
Yes,
of the context,
it's really fine
yeah.
because I'm learning a lot as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
So let me ask you about something when you had the idea of starting a business. So when did you realize you wanted to start a business?
Okay, yeah, that was a turning point for me, because as a young orthopedic surgeon, I worked very hard. I was successful. I was working in a very good hospital, getting lots of cases. I mean, like treating people very well. They were happy with me. I was happy with my work.
Yes.
But then I realized I have to do something. That old entrepreneurial thought came back to me again. I think that was when I was 38 years old. So I decided to open up a hospital in Kathmandu.
So that was your first business idea?
That was my, I had small business ideas. I opened a restaurant, but they were I was not serious about them, just talking. But this was a real big business idea.
So how did your family or your friends reacted when you said you wanted to start a hospital?
Yeah, most of them, I think they were very supportive.
Yeah.
But 1 or 2 were skeptical because I was too young to open up a hospital, especially in Kathmandu.
Yes.
I remember that.
So, and obviously when you're starting a business, it comes with a fear. So how did you manage those feelings, like what if I'm going to fail? So how did you manage?
Yeah, my first business was a very big business.
Yes.
I mean, I was not actually aware of it, so lots of hurdles came. And to answer your question about fear, I think I thought a lot,
Yeah.
lots of thinking, maybe planning,
Yes.
and also discussing. I think
It's
discussing with
it's really
friends and other
important.
people. Yes, I think that's how I handle my fears.
What are the challenges you faced while you were trying to start up a new business?
So I have to tell you, like the challenge I faced during opening up a hospital. So firstly, finding a team,
Yes.
gathering a team, pitching up the idea, trying to make them believe in me, and then trying to find funds.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're
Yes,
really young.
yes. And the fun thing was really tough. And then at the end, not at the end, in the beginning, trying to going through all the legal and administrative and governmental works to attain a hospital license.
So it was a really stressful journey.
It was indeed.
And how did you motivate yourself in that time yourself?
Okay, I just banged my head on the, on the wall. That was just a joke. That was just a joke, but like, how did I face my, how did I face the struggles? Yeah.
How did you stay motivated?
I think the way I stayed motivated was trying to find solutions to the problems and trying to, break down big problems into smaller ones and try and solve each one at one time. I think that's how I did it. Otherwise, it was too big a problem. No.
So what was your first breakthrough?
Okay, my first breakthrough was the hospital itself. So when I got the recognition from the locals and the medical fraternity for the hospital, I think it was my first breakthrough as an entrepreneur.
As an entrepreneur, so after did you had a major failure while you were in the starting phase of your business?
Yes, sure. And that failure was not being able to gather enough funds for the hospital.
So how did you find your idea in the beginning? Did you thought that it was a really great place and a really great time to start a hospital in that area?
Okay, so that is a very good question.
Yeah.
So that idea came actually because of a need for myself to find a place where I can work with my own views, visions, and also for a need of the community. Because at that time there were no good hospitals nearby at that place, and I wanted to give a standardized service, medical service to the locals, to people from the city or around the whole country or the world. So I think the idea at that time was to give a good standardized medical service in an affordable price to the people.
So this business is a really big one and you invested your lots of time and funds in there. So I guess you had nights where you could not sleep because of the stress going on there.
Many of them. You can't imagine. There were lots of them.
So after you started and opened up the hospital, and did you have to start over from the scratch?
Okay. So the basic, the big thing, not from the scratch, but maybe some ideas which I have to abandon some ideas and maybe start from the scratch for some ideas or not. But the big thing was still there.
Yeah. So who was the first person who believed in you and said you can do this?
I think in that project, the first person to believe in me was myself.
It's really important to believe yourself.
I think so, literally.
So let me talk about and let me ask you about your achievements so far. Can you tell us about your proudest achievement till date?
My proudest achievement, when I got the license from the hospital, I think I was the most happiest person in the world because getting a license was such a difficult thing. Too many hassles, too many bureaucracy, too many political things, you know. But yeah, I think I remember. I think that's the most happiest moment for me. I think. But there were so many others, but I think when compared, like that was the most happiest moment, the proudest moment. You know.
So, like, when was the first time you felt like I made it? After, like, maybe it could be after you open up your hospital.
I made it.
Yeah.
So I made it feeling maybe when people, not from only locals, but from different parts of the city, different parts of the country, even the foreigners
Yes.
came to the hospital and they were amazed to see the cleanliness, the system in such a small hospital, well maintained, you know. So when they were happy and they told me that they were really happy about these things. At that moment, I think, when the patients were happy, you know, when the patients got happy, got discharged happily, or they thanked me for, not only treating them, but for opening the hospital at that place. At that, I think that moment was
the time when you thought you made it.
yeah.
So while chasing your dreams, and goal, what achievement came in the most unexpected way?
Okay, yeah, that's another story. I think the most unexpected way. Okay, I'm a member. I'm a member of Board of Councils of World Federation for Traditional Chinese Medicine Society. Can you imagine that? What's the relationship? But still, I am. I think that's a very. What do you say?
I was really confused, like Chinese treatment.
Yeah, something that's out of the blue. But I'd work for it a little bit.
Okay, it's a really great achievement that came
interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting and out of the box thing.
So, what milestone did you celebrate along the way?
Okay, yeah, I think the milestone comes from smaller to bigger.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, it was from bigger to smaller.
Oh.
So the biggest thing, the initial thing was the hospital, Suveksha International Hospital Research Center. Then maybe the Suveksha Orthopedic Department. Now it's Dani Healing Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
The size and the budget is going down smaller, but the milestone is going the opposite way.
But the goal is to make the patients happy, so it does not really matter.
Yeah. Less stress, more good qualities,
so,
and innovative ideas.
Yes. Can you tell me about your successful story, like the most successful one? It is.
The most successful one. Okay, so I put my energy in certain things, and as I told you that my entrepreneurship projects with the hospital, and then maybe secondly Dani Healing Clinic. So when I compared both of those, I think I feel successful for Dani Healing Clinic because we established this clinic, an integrative clinic, where the Western and the Eastern medicine, they work together for the benefit of the patient.
Yes.
So they are not colliding, but they are coming together, working together for the patient. So we were situated at another place just a year back. So that was 2 years after running the clinic. So unluckily we have to abandon that place because they are demolishing the building. So at that time, we the board members were thinking of closing it down because we are all busy in our own things, and so we had to find another budget. We had to find another place and things like that.
Start
all over again. And we were thinking, shall we again gather all those energies or time to restart it again? But in my mind, I came to realize it's this philosophy, or Dani Healing Clinic, is not. It didn't come out as a business, but it came out as a new idea, which is beneficial to the people. So I thought, let me work on it. So I convinced my board. I started researching for a place, and everything worked out like this. I found a place within 1 month. The boards were convinced. They were convinced to put some more money in. I decided to give more time for around 1 or 2 years for this clinic. So I think this is success.
Yeah, it's like a God sign.
Yeah, and we have very good people working here. Patients are happy. The business is growing, and you are our, previous. What do you call it? A staff.
Yeah.
So I think you can understand how it is growing. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think I would call this a success.
It was a really pleasure to work here as well.
Yeah. Thanks.
So how did you feel to accomplish something that you once had only imagined? Like this Dani Healing Clinic is also, it's like accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
It is not really, you say that you thought of closing it up. So how did it feel to
Yeah. So
achieve this?
I still take it as a startup, which
Yeah.
is 3 years old, and we haven't succeeded. We haven't come to our goals yet. We have lots of things to do.
Mhm.
So if you ask me how do I feel certainly grateful.
Yeah.
But with gratefulness there comes responsibility. There comes more accountability. I now I feel that I have to give the best of myself and work more now.
Yeah.
So I think the gratefulness is not the only thing I get from it. It's more responsibility and accountability.
So have you won any awards or public recognition?
Yeah. So I'm not basically an award person, but I can remember one getting Mahendra Vidya Bhushan in 2016 after finishing my masters, and then I got felicitation. I was felicitated by Zarina DESHAR. I think it was some for entrepreneurship after opening up the hospital. That was in 2017.
So what achievement took the most time and effort in this journey?
Hospital.
Yeah.
Still taking.
So it's still growing and it's
Yes.
yeah.
It's a continuous process. Like bringing up a baby.
Is there anyone you are the most grateful, or someone who has helped and continuously giving you support?
Yeah. So I think it depends, it depends from stage to stage, time to time. So from my childhood to till now. So I cannot pinpoint one, because in every stage there are people who helped me. I was grateful. But I remember a certain teacher when I was in ISC, that was similar to +2 now in science. So there was a teacher who was always supportive to me.
How do you define success for yourself now?
Okay, success now. I think success is moving towards your goal and living every day.
Is there any moment or feeling that validates your effort?
The moments of feelings. Yeah, whenever I get I think whenever I get the results, I feel validated.
So is there any time that you had really exceeded your expectation to achieve one goal?
Exceeded my, I don't think so. I think I'm hard on myself as well,
Yeah.
It's very difficult to please me. I think it's for myself also.
What's something that you have achieved that others thought was impossible?
None.
None. Okay. What's been your favorite moment of your journey so far?
My favorite moments. Okay, coming to my favorite moments, like talking with people like you. I think my favorite moments have been talking with young minds.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
to gather like the insights of them as well.
Yeah. I really think they have a different way or approach, even towards ideas and thoughts, which I'm not aware of. I think those are very important for entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So can we talk more about your life lesson and reflection you have faced and experienced in your journey? Let me ask you about the best advice you ever received.
Okay, the best advice I received, the best advice I received, I think it might be, hey, wake up. Hey, wake up.
Yeah.
Don't sleep, move.
It's so simple, it's so powerful.
I think who gave the advice, you can imagine, I think.
Yeah. So while talking about the best advice, can we also talk about the worst advice you ever followed or someone gave?
I don't think so.
No, okay,
No, I don't
there
think there was
isn't.
any worse advice.
So what do you wish people knew more about success?
Okay. So this time, what I wish other people know about success, not myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think success is something what other people think about you or your works, but success, I think it means living every day for you.
Can you tell me about how the entrepreneurship has changed your worldview?
Okay, entrepreneurship. I think I became more acceptable, my acceptance to other people's views, their ideas have increased or opened up, and I think the world has become a more livable place.
Yeah. So let me ask you something like really unique or like exciting thing. If you were to lose everything tomorrow, what would you do first?
Wake up and move. Wake up and move. Yeah, we have to move.
So is there something you're realizing now that you did not years ago? Is there something?
For myself.
Yes, for yourself.
Okay. Don't be too serious. I shouldn't be too serious. Yeah.
Like it's really important to be serious at some time, but not all the time.
Yeah.
I agree.
For myself, I shouldn't have been too serious at some point.
So what is the one life lesson you've learned hard way?
One life lesson that I've learned hard way. Okay. So I think financial literacy is so important for entrepreneurs, which I initially didn't have.
So you're learning
Financial
about,
literacy.
you're learning about it bit by bit now.
Yes.
So what does living a meaningful life means to you?
So, as I grew up and right now, what I believe is that everyone should have the meaning of his or her life, and he or she should be aware of it at one point of time. So everyone has their own separate meaning of life, which he or she should find by himself or herself, and then work for it.
And for the last session today, let's talk about something fun and random and interesting facts about yourself.
Okay.
Let me ask you about the one thing most people don't know about you.
My humor.
Oh.
I did think most of you think I'm very serious guy, but I find myself very humorous.
So if your life were a movie or a book, how would you name it? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've already decided the title of my book.
Oh,
Maybe I can tell you now. Healing and the Healer.
it's really good. Can you
That's
tell
my
me more?
book.
Yeah, can you tell more about it though?
Okay, so I'm a medical person who have been interested in medicine, treating and healing people since I was a child.
Yes.
My surname is Vaidya, so that means a healer, traditional healer. So I've gone through so many things in treating or healing patients. So and also the things I learned from them, from my teachers, my own experiences. I think I would like to put it into a book or something like that. So I think because my ideas, my entrepreneurship, the everything, the journey, the hardship, the happiness, the everything I'm going through is mostly based on healing. So I think that would be a nice topic for the book.
Yeah, maybe you should start writing that as well.
Actually, I've started few paragraphs,
Oh, it's
but
really great.
I don't think that I would like really sit down and write about it, you know. And I don't know when to end when I finish that, but I think I'll do it soon.
It's really great. So, what's your favorite way to relax and unwind in this stressful? If you are really stressed, what would you do to?
To sit by the sea,
Um,
which is not often possible here, but I love sea.
yeah, we're not contributing to sit by the lake.
Yeah. But sea, I studied in places where there were sea around, very nice sea. So I love sea. And to sit by the sea is the most relaxing thing, I think.
If you are really stressful, you would go by the sea.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least once or twice, once a year or something like that, maybe.
So, if you had to sum up your journey in one sentence, what would it be?
I think not in one sentence, but in one word, it would be incredible.
It's really great. So, Dr. Rupesh sir, it's been a really true pleasure to getting to know more about you
Yeah,
and your
it's also my
journeys.
pleasure.
So I'm really grateful for the time you took to share your experience and insights. Your stories were both inspiring and impactful for me, and I have learned lots from you. So it's
Thanks
really
a lot.
great. Thank you very
Yeah,
much
it
for
was
your time.
it was nice talking with you as well.
Yeah.
I wish you all the success in your studies
Yes.
and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for your time. Wishing you a continuous success and fulfillment in your